Hola alumnos, este es Dr. Lebrun. ¿Están ustedes listos a aprender sobre la colocación de los pronombres de complemento? Pues vamos a empezar. First, let's refresh our memory on what a pronoun is. Then, we'll talk about where they go in a Spanish sentence. At the end, we'll talk about if we need any accent marks. Remember that a pronoun takes the place of a noun. A direct object pronoun is the direct receiver of the action of the verb, and an indirect object pronoun is the indirect receiver of the action of the verb. Here are some examples. Me, te, le, nos, les, los, las, lo, la. The difference between les, los, las, meaning them, is les refers to people, los and las refer to objects, but in some cases los and las can also refer to people. Lo and la mean it, but in some cases lo can mean him and la can mean her. Alright, let's get started. In this example, the pronouns come before the conjugated verb. This is the opposite of English. Here, me is the indirect object pronoun, and lo is the direct object pronoun. I like to think of it like this. The person comes before the item. Ella me lo vende. If I have an infinitive verb, the pronoun can come either before or after the verb. Notice how when the pronouns come after the verb, it becomes a compound word. Let's save the accent rules for the end. Ella te las quiere dar. Ella quiere dártelas. If I have a verb in the gerund form, the ing ending in English, or ando or yendo ending in Spanish, it works the same as with the infinitive verbs. The pronouns can either come before or after the verb. It's your preference where they go. Notice how if you put the pronouns after the verb, it's more similar to English, but then accent marks may come into play. Ella me la está explicando. Ella está explicándomela. What about if we have pronouns with an affirmative command? Okay, now they have to go after the verb. Dímelo. Or another common phrase you might see in Spanish is dime. In that case, it would not have an accent, and sometimes people use that when they answer the phone. And if we have pronouns with a negative command, they must go before the verb. No me lo digas. Another common phrase you might see in Spanish is no me digas, which could mean don't tell me or you don't say. Before we talk about where to put the accents when we're dealing with object pronouns, let's think about how we pronounce verbs in general. On an infinitive verb, I'm placing the emphasis on the last syllable. Hablar, comer, escribir. On a conjugated verb, I'm placing the emphasis on the second to the last syllable. Habla, come, escribe, hablando, comiendo, escribiendo. Okay, so here are the rules for accents with pronouns. If the pronouns come before the verb, I don't need to worry about any accents. If I put the pronouns at the end, then I do. The rules are, if I have an infinitive verb with one pronoun, I don't need an accent since the emphasis is now on the second to the last syllable. Voy a necesitarla para mañana. With an infinitive verb with two pronouns, then I do need an accent. I want to put the accent on the last syllable of the original verb. Voy a dársela para mañana. With a conjugated verb with one or two pronouns, then I need to put an accent to keep the pronunciation of the verb in the correct place. Él está ayudándome. Él está explicándomelo. Notice that we're putting the emphasis on the second to the last syllable of the original verb before we added any pronouns. Gracias por mirar. Please let me know if you have other Spanish topics you would like covered.